Akai Force, Roland SP-404, Roland VerseLab MV1, Pioneer DDJ SR2. Today what I got going on, guys, is I got a sample with some stems that I'm going to take from my Serato. It's going to record into my loop station, which you can't see. You know, I'm going to explain some of the outs and how this is all working for you guys so you can get an understanding of why and how this is all interconnected. But my goal is to take a stem. I have a particular sample I want to take out of Serato. I run it through my loop station. My loop station runs into my SP-404. And from there, my VerseLab runs through the loop station into the 404, and the 404 goes into the Force. All right. So I want to explain why I have it that way. But first, we gotta do the introduction. What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G. The O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And so what I want to do first, this is one of my old beats playing, is I want to tell you a little bit about how I have this whole thing routed and how it's going. So right here, I have an output coming from my SSR2, or from my DJ controller. Is going out to the loop station, which is off camera. The VerseLab is going into the loop station. So the output of the loop station is these red cords, quarter inch going inside of the SP-404. The black out is going into the input of the Akai Force. The output of the Akai Force is going out to my Rodecaster. This little mini keyboard is plugged in via USB right here, and via USB right here is the VerseLab. The VerseLab is being controlled via MIDI by the Akai Force. The MIDI from the VerseLab is going inside of the SP-404MKII. Okay? So whatever sample that I record in, I could set the MIDI inside of the loop station. Excuse me. The MIDI from the VerseLab is going into the loop station. The loop station is going into the 404. I could still set the BPM on the loop station. Why is that important? Because it is the master to the 404. So when I want to record samples in, you see we have the screen right here, right? It says 90 BPM. That's whatever sample that we record in. So part of the reason why I like to use the 404 as the middleman is because it stores the sample information. And days I might record a bunch of samples and have a bunch of samples and do a bunch of background work inside of my Force, or just different kind of work so when I'm in a mode to make a lot of beats, I don't have to go search for samples. I take certain days and I go through bunches and bunches of samples and pre-chop them, pre-cut them, get the stems, get all of this stuff ready. So it's not just, oh, I have time on Friday and I waste 2 hours looking for samples. Part of when you run that way, you need to have the BPM. It's important. I talk about in my master classes and other things I teach to producers why it's important to have the BPM. It matters when you're making your own beat. It matters when you're time stretching. It matters in a lot of different ways, you understand? So for me, the extra step of having the SP be the middleman gives me the option to always store the information without having to type it in or set it a different kind of way. All I have to do is turn a knob. So that's the reason why I have it set that way. Now, the reason why I use the Akai Force, and I can make everything inside of the Akai Force. This is one of the things that people ask a lot of questions about. And, you know, this video might be a little bit long for new subscribers and people who are here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you check out everything I have in the description. The way that I create music is in an organic way, and I like to do it hands-on. On the computer, I have Ableton Live, I have Machine, I have a Machine Micro, a Machine Jam, I have a couple controllers for Ableton, I have Reason, I have Pro Tools, I have all of the stuff that I'm supposed to have. It's a functional studio. So I have all of these things on the computer, and for me, I much rather, I have FL Studio 21 or whatever on there. I much rather be hands-on when I make beats. But each machine has its pluses, its minuses, it has its limitations, it has different workflows. Some things you like about different machines, but the workflow might be not what you're in the mood for. So, for example, I really like the Verse Lab. The Verse Lab comes with over 3,000 sounds. If I wanted to buy MC 101, it has a couple more sounds than the MC 101, and it's not a 4-track, and it has vocal processing. If I wanted to buy MC 707, it has more channels, it's bigger, and the Verse Lab still comes with more sounds. The only thing that Roland has that comes with more sounds than the Verse Lab is the Integra 7. You understand? Is the Integra 7. All right. And there might be some other obscure equipment, but that's not really what I'm in the game for. So right now, the Verse Lab has a workflow. It's powered off of USB. If you need to just have it powered off USB, you know, I have my SM58 mic right here, you know, so it's great for me to just do some background vocals or throw some ad-libs or do whatever I want to do. I use it for vocal processing. The vocal processing is really good. The sounds are really good. So I like to use it as a sound module when I'm not using it standalone. Why would I use it as a sound module? Well, the MPCs have limited memory. The Force has direct disc streaming. So whatever sounds, this only has 7 tracks. This, I could have an unlimited amount of tracks, and I can record the audio from here to here and get a very big arrangement. I can go as crazy as I want with the sounds, because with direct disc streaming, it's streaming right from the SSD hard drive I have installed. So now I could make 20 tracks of audio and layer one sound using the Verse Lab, which is something that I could do, but it would take a lot of work. I could get that done inside. I could record that from the Verse Lab into the Force, right? The Verse Lab has effects, but it has so many effects that you could put on one track. I could take those effects, run them through the looper, and have the 14 effects or 20 effects that the looper has now to apply to that sound, run it through the SP, have the effects that the SP has built in, add up to 4 more effects to this one that's being affected, and record the audio and print it inside of the Force. Now, the looper, the looper is a great tool. If I wanted to make something quickly, I can record this in. So if I record that right now, it's recording this beat that's playing in the background. We stop that. You hear it. Now we have delay. We have a filter. So with that, having the looper right there is great because it is a great middleman to run any stems or anything that I have planned through Serato, anything I have planned through the Verse Lab. I could just catch it quickly and start to build around it. Now I can take that and run it inside of the SP-404 and record it to a pad quickly and capture the BPM information. I can also take that and record it into the Akai Force. Well, why would I want to use the Force via MIDI to the Verse Lab? Well, if I have 3,000 sounds, 3,000 plus sounds inside of the Verse Lab, I have vocal processing inside of the Verse Lab. Now I could process my vocals and record straight into do some pre-processing before I record my vocals into the Force. I can also use pad perform and the over 300 progressions and play everything in key from the Force over to the Verse Lab. The other key is that I can record that MIDI into the Verse Lab and save that to work on later. So essentially I have 3 different machines that I can make 3 different beats out of at any given time. I just need to be cognizant of where the sounds are originating from. All right, so this is the reason why I have this running this way. It gives me personally as a creator the most versatility and hands-on. I can always finish my songs inside of the Force. I have all of the Akai plugins, so I could build on top of the waves that I record in. And now I'm never going to run out of memory. There is no limit when utilizing that. Yes, I can resample, but if I have something else and the sounds are there and I don't have to use my processing power, but I still get the joys of standalone, then that's the way that I work my equipment, and that's the specific setup. I always have the SP-404 in the mix because I like the ability to be able to record to a pad all the time. See? If we come out of here, we're in pattern mode. And then the easy way to just start messing with the pitch. So the ability to be able to always record anything to the SP that fast is a plus for me. You know, if we stop this and we come here, let's go and go to our bells. Let's open this. Let's open a MIDI track. Now that we have that, we'll double tap right there. We'll go to MIDI ports. We'll choose the MV1, press close. We'll press shift and note. Now we got in our notes mode. And that's playing from the Verse Lab. So if I turn the delay on to SP, let's turn the filter on. At any moment, we can all right, so let's just say we recorded that. So you can quickly see, excuse me, you could quickly see why this all kind of matters. You know what I mean? Because in the SP, which takes a little while to load, you know, now I could come through, I could go to my kit, I could go here, press record. So you can see quickly, we could just record in our kits. Now, the power of being able to use the volume, use a more fluid way of finding, building, and then creating a real live drum kit for whatever sample in real time before it ever even gets into the DAW is extremely powerful, to me at least, all right? So the first thing that I'm going to do right now is, because we want to get this video rolling, I just want to explain it to you for all of you. Well, you could do it in this and you could do it in that. And what about Koala Sampler? What about, I have Koala Sampler. Let's go and check it out. So here's my iPad. We have GarageBand, we have Koala, we have Ableton Note, we have iMachine, we have Scalar 2, we have Synth 1, Sample Tank, Figure. You know, I have a iPad Pro, and I have all kinds of different apps on there. And if your preference is to tap on the screen to make your beats, that's your preference. If your preference is, you know, inside of your Live 2, which, you know, I have right over here. Hold on one second. We'll grab it. So if your preference is to be on the Live 2, then that's your preference, okay? If I wanted to go and get my MPC 1 out, you know, if that's your preference, you could do it all on there. I have my TR6S right here. You know, we have all the way down to the Street Fighter. The Pocket Operator, you know, underneath I have let's see. We have Machine and we have Ableton right underneath our table. You know, so the ability to create in real time and have an understanding of how everything works so good independently, and being able to understand the strong points and the weak points of all your gear helps you get the most out of your gear when you use it by itself. I use the SP by itself. I use the Verse Lab by itself. I use the Force by itself. I use all of this gear by itself. I also, when I come to my studio, I use it all together. And each one has different benefits. You know, I have a whole nother table and another table where all of this stuff is interconnected, and at any given time, you can go touch any machine and record it all into the Force. Why is this? Because I also have this set where everything that is created in this room can be recorded into Ableton. That is part of why you need to know how to do this kind of stuff. You don't need to know, but as your studio grows and you get further into the business, some of these workflows and different connections and how things work together, you will get comfortable, you'll find your workflow, and they'll all interconnect. But you need to understand how to do things independently so you could say to yourself, oh, I prefer to work on a sample in the SP over working on a sample in the Verse Lab. But I also enjoy working on the sample in the MPC. So always my two things that will be out when I sample will be some form of the MPC and the SP-404. You kind of get what I'm saying? You following? All right. So the outs, out to the Rodecaster. Input from the SP-404. USB to the keys. These keys right here control the Verse Lab too. All right, so that's how that's set. When I talk about MIDI, I always say that it is smart to have anything, the MPC, Akai, it should be the master, send the clock, then daisy chain everything else. If you don't want to do that, you might run into problems, you know? All right, so now I can put down this because we've done all this. Looper, looper, looper. Looper output here. You get it? So now, and my looper is a Boss RC202 loop station for those who want to know. So the setup in this is I have this set to merge, and while it's on merge, any audio running through the Force, it can be heard and listened to in real time. That's how you're hearing it. Now, I have to have an audio track open. If I open this, go to sampler, you can see my audio running in right there. It's controlled by the SP. It's controlled here too. I can also control it on the loop station, okay? So right here, I have a sample, and I am using the stems, but I'm not going to show the sample on the screen. Tough cookies. All right. So what I'm going to do now is go back to Matrix. I'm going to hit record, and then I'm going to press this button, and we're going to press play. Here we go. So I want to erase that. Let's see what that sound with the delay. I'm going to hit remain plus delay so it stays on. All right, so I have it set at 100. And we also have DJ effects here too. So I could affect it coming out of the DJ, but I'm going to use the SP. So I'm going to hit shift and play. So we have our audio. Now we're going to press record here. Oh, first undo. We're going to set our BPM. So our BPM is 73. So I'm going to set my BPM to 73 right there. I like it because it's visual. You guys can't see it. Maybe I'll put a camera on it. When I press record, it's going to record that in. So it says 73 right there. Here we go. Actually, I don't need to record it to a pad. Actually, I will, though. And I'm going to press record here. So you can see we can record it 2 places at the same time. And now, and this is recording in with the effect. And I'm going to record a good piece in. And now we're going to have the ability to chop it in the SP, and we could chop it inside of the MPC. And if you look right here, you can see this playing, and you can see it playing at 73 BPM. You could tell by the speed of what it's playing. All right, so that's done. And I did that on the wrong channel. I did that on the MIDI channel, so we're going to delete that. But that's okay, because what we'll do is we'll arm this and we'll just play it from the SP. Here we go. And I just leave the metronome on. I know it can sound annoying, but you got to get used to that metronome, bro, if that's what you're going to do. We about to get it in tonight. I feel it. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Check out everything I got in the description. Make sure you follow me at 365 O.T.G on all social media. All right. All right, so we're playing from the Force now. If we go to sample edit, you can see it right there. We can go and trim. Let's hit process. We'll discard whatever is right there. All right. So what I want to do now, let's stop it and let's go ahead and select. We still got a blank spot there at the beginning. We're going to discard that. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to process this. I'm just going to do regions right now, and I'm going to set it to 32 So it could be across all the bottom pads. All right. So now I'm going to hit shift and process, shift and convert, sorry. We're going to cut that down, chop that down. So now we go to matrix. We got it right here. We're going to erase our sample. Now, over here, I'm going to hit shift and chop. It's going to bring it up this way. I'm going to hit menu. We're going to go to time division, and we're going to just set it to 16. We're going to press OK. We press resample. It's going to hit 0 cross snap. All right, so now I'm going to click and go to assign to pad. I'm going to put it on this bank, and I'm going to record over the sample that I recorded in. Why? Because it's in the memory here and the force. So when I save this, because we have it chopped, non-destructive chops, it's inside of the memory here. I don't need to do that here. And see, here's the BPM. So I know when I open this, these are 73 BPM. All right. So now when I come over here, let's go ahead and load a drum. I'm going to go down to something from my personal sound packs. All that's in the description. Let's just use that. All right, so right here we're set at 86. I'm going to put this on screen. Put my knobs on screen so my knobs show up. I'm going to hit matrix, step sequencer. Over here's my velocity. Turn that delay on. Let's edit that some. Turn the time down. Hit remain so it stay on. All right, say I like that, right? So now we have this on audio. All right, let's make sure I remember what it is. We hit record, come over here. we can come over here, and now here we go. Feel like it got a little drag on there, so let's try listen to it. Still feel like a little drag. Let's speed it up. Still a drag, so let's go back to 86. I like that bot. And let's delete that. So when you're recording this way, it's going to take a little longer. I like it though. So when I press record, but I hit launch, the way that I have my Force set up is I have it set up like we are recording real people or live instruments. So it will record as long as I let it. It'll record 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So part of why I like the Force over my MPC is because this gives me the same feel as Ableton Live. So right now I have what? Let's go look and clip. We have an 8-bar loop, which we just played from the 404. It's disc streaming, so it's playing from, not playing from the memory. So we're not taking up any memory in the Force. Our Force is running extremely lean right now, right? Now our drum, if we come over here, is only a 1-bar loop. So if we look at this clip, it's a 2-bar loop. So we have a 2-bar loop for the drums and 8-bar for the sample, which would be a little bit harder to set up inside of the Verse Lab or inside of the MK2 or inside of the MPC. So this is the value that the Force brings to O.T.G when I'm creating. Hope you understand. So if we go to Matrix now, if I want to record that in, I hit record, and here we go. So now that I have that basic set out, what I'm going to do is hit shift, and right here it says double length of 4 bars. So now we got 4 bars. If I hold my step sequencer, it's going to take me to this page, and now I can add in that snare, different snare roll, or you get it. Alright, so now let's say we have that, okay? So let's go to launch. Let's hit copy our drums down. Now now let's go over here to 4, where our sample is. Go to note. Let's go to the mixer, turn it up. We'll crank it, we'll fix it. So I like them. So what we're going to do is we're going to record it in. So we have that in. So we want to, of course, turn it up. So what we're going to do is come to our drum effects and mess with the soft clipper. See, and we ain't even have to normalize. All right, so we got that there. Now we could come back out to our matrix and we could go switch to our other sample that we got. Let's see. So here we go. And see, it's right here. Here we go. You know, we got something we could fix on there. But now let's switch over here to this one. So that transition is cool. What we might have to do is put a ghost note on this one since we're recording a sample. Let's hear it again. If so, we'll put a ghost note at the end of the clip. Here we go. 1. Listen. Yep. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to launch. We're going to stop these. We're going to go to the clip. We're going to edit this a clip. We're going to go to grid. Going to zoom in, and then what we're going to do is scroll way up, and we're going to draw a note right here. We're going to move this note over. So now when we switch to this, it should stop. All right, so let's do it now. Matter of fact, let's mute this. Let's mute the drums. And so what we did again is put a ghost note there so it'll end this from playing when we switch over to our other. Here we go. Okay, so what we had is we had a pause there. So if we stop that, all right, so the fastest way to fix that pause that we got up there, you know, let's go find our note. Zoom out. Let's go find where that note is. There it is. So the fastest way to shorten that is, damn it, I accidentally touched my knob. So the fastest way to fix this is to hold our Alt, or go to Shift Alt and turn this to a 64th note. And now we could edit the start. We could select it and make it super small. So edit start. There it is. It's as small as it could be. So now we could exit out of there, back to our matrix. Now when we trigger this over here, what you'll get is it'll be a smoother transition. Here we go. There we go. Let's bring our drums back. Now we should be able to switch and go between the two easily. Say I still wanted to do something more to this, because I do, but first let's listen to the transition. Perfect. So now let's go to the mixer, hit the effects, switch to this. Let's go straight to an EQ and a filter. But we want to add an EQ. We're going to use the basic EQ settings. And we're just going to bump it up some. It's not on. There we go. There we go. Let's switch it. All right, so now what we're going to do is add an EQ here while we're here. We kind of want those to match. To the mixer, turn the volume down just a little bit. All right, now we should be able to switch over and sound cool. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Let's come over here to the verse lab. Turn this bass up. I like how that sounds. Right now I'm turning the limiter on the verse lab because I want that bass to really cut and I don't feel like side chaining. So let's See, it's saying it's distorted right there. That's okay. Let's try it with delay. Okay. All right. So now let's stop that. Let's hit record. First, let's hit plus, add in another audio channel. Record arm. Well, we got to go over here. Let's turn the mute off. Record arm on. That's why it's red. Come out to our matrix, hit record, and let's record that bass in. Okay, so we got that. Now we got that bass in there. Okay, now let's say I wanted to record a bass on this one. All right, so let's do this. So we got two bass lines. We come down here into the matrix and we cool. And now we could do this to switch back over. So now let's say I wanted to go in and add a plug-in now from the MPC. Let's go over here to note mode. We got hype right there. But let's see, let's go add a Jura. Add a Jura. Let's go over here. Let's find us a polysynth. I like the 80s harp. That's my go-to. So now let's go to shifted note. Let's go to progressions. Let's find our root note. there we go. Sometimes you gotta wait to see the idea through. Here we go. Okay. Now we're going to play this one. Oh, here we go. So we got that. Turn the mixer down some. That's just gonna go in the back and sit real nice. Now we should be able to switch. Here we go. And so right now you can see how easy it is to just kind of put stuff together. I could sit here for hours and just go down a whole rabbit hole of creating, you know. So if we went here to the matrix, we could copy this, go there, come back over here, go back to our note we were playing. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. So in an instance like that, where let's play that one and see what happened, but I don't think it played the first note. So let's go to launch, stop. Yep, it didn't get the first note. So let's go look at that clip. Now let's go back to notes. Let's get our record. Still didn't show up. Let's do it again. There we go. So we got our notes there. And so now if I go back out to Matrix, on it, we could play our samples. Back over here. Check these samples out. Go to shifted notes mode. Oh, I'm tripping. Right here. So let's add that. It sounds a little crazy, but and so we come back. Oh, we did it on the wrong one. Delete. Here we go. What I got going on here. Let's just undo, delete. We want just this one. Okay. We want to go to, we want this one. That's our problem. Now, those are two notes right there. Here we go. That one note. So say we like that, right? So let's go down here. Let's go to launch. Let's do copy this to this. Let's delete the one we just played. Let's copy this to this. This is our arpeggiator. right here. Let's go to clip. Alright. So there we are. Let's just move this. Move our clip down to 4 bars. And then we could just have the first 4 bars play over and over again, and we could add this in, our sample from our MPC. It sounds stupid, but here we go. So, you know, so you could easily see how you could start to mess around and start to build a whole arrangement. But what I wanted to do is just spend some time, talk to you, show you how it all works, how it's all wired up, why I like to do what I like to do, and then just create. That is the goal of what we're doing every day, is just to create. You know, I think some of you guys take this stuff, you know, I hate to be the guy to say that you take it too serious, but I think that you take the wrong things too serious. Like, there are certain things with music production that you can follow the rules into the T, learning your machine, learning how to operate it, learning how to set up songs a proper way, learning how to mix, how to get things in a way, ins and outs and all of that stuff. Some of that stuff is the way that it's supposed to be. There are just certain ways. How you use it, how you do your mix, certain ways that you go about things become your secret sauce. And your sauce is what makes you a different producer than everybody else. So, inshallah, you found something that helps you out. Make sure you check the description. You know, I wasn't trying to create a whole beat today. I just wanted to chop it up with you guys. I really wanted to just talk about creating and how I create my creative process and how I utilize things. Kind of walk through how stuff is hooked up, you know, and just spend some time talking and creating and enjoying the beat making process. So once again, guys, it's your brother O.T.G. This was a super long video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you found something valuable in this video.